Alright, hello there. I am Puppo1 and this is Smackdown. Here Comes the Pain. And this is part 1 of the AGR series. So, we are doing the AGR 56-man crowning tournament. So, we're on the round of 56. And we're finna start Group 1's 8-man tournament. And that'll be considering these 8 right here. So what I will do at the start of every video, we will just take off all of them off the screen or whatever like that. The 8 ones that's involved. We'll leave a space. I don't know why, but I just think it'll be better or easier for me to remember where everything's at if I'll just leave that space open. So we're just gonna leave a space open for where people are or whatever like that, so that we know where they are at. We got some good matchups. One in particular is, as you already see, is Triple H versus Shawn Michaels, DX. So that's what we got going on right here. We also got Matt Hardy versus Rikishi. I think they faced off with each other before, but I don't think Edge ever faced off with Iron Sheik. A-Train and Charlie Haas may have happened before. Yeah, so that's what we're going with. A-Train and Charlie Haas is the first match. Okay, let me go here. Basically go to here. Just gonna show you that it's on the hardest difficulty. Go out of that. And also real quick, I'm gonna speak about the rule set. So the reason that KO is turned on, just because it's Iron Man, you know. And then give up is turned on because it needs to be turned on. Pinfall is turned on. Rope break is turned off just because like certain moves and submissions and stuff. And I just don't like having rope break turned on. And we got, and the main one that's turned on is DQ is turned off. My bad. I said turned on. DQ is turned off because the referee can disqualify if they actually accidentally get hit once or twice or some crap. And sometimes the AI will focus on the referee. And then we also have count out is on and it's 10 seconds because there's no setting for false count anywhere, so we have to have it turned on to get them back in the ring to keep the match going and stuff. So that's why the rules are set the way they are. And now we can go to the first match. I could talk about that, but we wouldn't know for sure that is on SmackDown unless you see that it's on SmackDown. I could say that it's set to the highest difficulty SmackDown, but it's easier just to show you. Alright. And then we also got, oh wait, this way, Charlie Haas. Go out of it real quick. Put that right there. A-Train. Okay. Now we're randomly do it. It's gonna go to heat. Make sure the rules are where I want it to be at. Oh, it's automatically like that for that stuff. Okay. No problem. Alright. We can get started. Enjoy. Alright, so Prince Albert won. Charlie House is eliminated. Only people who come in only people who come in second place will be able to continue on. So if you're gonna lose, you better make sure it's in the final of your group. Next up is Edge versus Iron Sheik. Man, I thought Charlie House weight class would be heavier than that because I thought he should be able to lift and like I thought certain moves would still be allowed to be utilized by somebody smaller than somebody else. I guess not. This match may come down to whoever can score the first fall first, because that's what we do with the Iron Man matches. We go based off of who can score the first fall match, if there's a fall score. But they may not even score a fall in this match. That's the crazy thing, that we'll have to go based off of who did the better damage and shit. Edge gonna end up winning because he's gonna have 2 points. He needs to get 3 falls in a row in order to get this victory real quick. And he got less than a minute to do it because it's first to 3. And he can't win off a tie because he will got 2 falls second. So he desperately needs this to work. Oh, he went outside. He may have just won this. Yep, he won it. That's messed up. Yeah, he's the ultimate opportunist, man. They went the distance. Because Edge went out the ring at the last second. Yeah, that cost him. He don't get nothing for being a draw, because we're not using the system where they'll have to do a rematch with the Iron Man matches. It's whoever scored the most falls first. And Edge went outside, got a weapon, and it ended up 2-2, and he got 2 first. Matt Hardy versus Rikishi is next. That was a good match, though. Damn it, Matt Hardy. That's on you, bro. That's totally on you. Rikishi wins. I thought he was going to at least get a fall or try to make the comeback, but that's on him. Rikishi was the victor. Now, time for the last match of the first round. Yeah, we'll do this one here. Yeah, we'll do this one here because the next one is going to be the number two is going to be for the semifinals and stuff like that. The two semi matches, third place and first place. Yeah. Hope this last match of the first round go quicker. Why is it so damn slow? No. Stop, he's already dead. That's what I wanted to say. Hell, Triple H beat the dog crap out of Shawn Michaels just now. And that's because also in this game, how certain moves do more damage than others. Like, but I do believe their finishers are about the same. We can go in here and check real quick. He definitely won that. Yep. It's not 3 red or whatever like that for his. That's the difference. The yellow is your yeah, like the yellow has to do with your on bar and stuff like that. You're looking at the you're looking at the because like I can go to the default character or whatever like that, and his stuff is pretty high for that. The yellow stands for what you gave yourself as far as like your rating and shit like that. Whereas the other thing is for the other stuff. That was a good character to utilize. So let's see. Oh, we could go right here. His stuff ain't gonna be high at all for the finishers. That see how the red is 1, but the other part is 4 or whatever like that. Oh, so it's the red part. Okay, that's on me. That's on me. So the red part is your character's rating thing that involves the character's rating, and then the yellow part involves the move itself. Okay, because he's only an 11 rating, so it's the yellow part that involves how powerful the move actually is just on his own. Okay, and then we go. So let me go back to Shawn Michaels real quick, because I think he had 4. If I'm not mistaken, I think his finisher had 4 as well. Yeah, his stuff is. They both had high damage moves, but I think he got a lower rating than Triple H for some reason. I don't know how, but I think they gave him a lower rating. All right, we're done with the video. I'm just gonna set up the next match. So the next match is supposed to be what? We're on who? We're gonna Edge versus A-Train. So let's set that up right now. I could just be that. Because when I go back into it, that's what we're gonna. Yeah. Now we can have this like this. And that's just so when I start up the video, it's already set like this for both of them, and I just gotta change the second player to season mode and stuff like that. Yeah. You can say this. Alright, does it say safe? Yep. Alright, yeah. So, once again, this was part 1 of the AGR series. Now, as far as the, what's the name stuff, I'm just going to say the 59-man crowning tournament. And we're just going to do, it's going to be RO 56, round of 56, and we're just going to put group 1 or whatever like that. First half or whatever of group 1. I think that's how I'm gonna title the video. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video so we can do the last 4 matches, which is the what's the name? The semifinals, 3rd place, and the 1-on-1. Even though 3rd place, whoever gets 3rd place, doesn't freaking matter, I'm still gonna do it, Yeah, so every video, instead of having 7 matches, every video is gonna have 8 man. I mean, every 8 man tournament gonna have 8 matches instead of just 7 matches. Even though whoever got third place doesn't matter, we're still gonna do something for them. You know. So to the next one later, and hope you enjoy.